Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. And doesn't it feel like we've had quite a bit of ladder lately? I don't know if that's actually the case, but it certainly feels that way. So in order to redress the perceived balance on my part, skewed against the team games, I'm going to have one today. It's going to be a custom 6v6 return to glory with almost a straight pro participation across the board. Also, I'm not 100% sure, but this might be my final cast before Christmas, potentially awfully even, I might have to say, of God, I have to think what you were in there, 2018. It is insane how booked up I am right now. Honestly, if I had the choice, I would trade places with Santa Claus right now, because you know what, that guy's got it easy compared to what I've got on my plate when you've got 4 kids. I know technically he's got like several billion to think of, but my kids are hard work, man. Like, it's all about me. Isn't that the spirit of Christmas? Anyway, but if I don't see you guys, have a very Merry Christmas. But I'm going to do my darndest to try and find time to squeeze one more in, because it feels like I'm just kicking the bucket this year too early. Anyway, enough of all that. Let's get on with today's game. As we said, it's going to be custom 6v6, and that action is going to go down on Cauldron Small EP version 2, or as I like to call it, Peppermint Canyon. That's right, I'm ready, you guys are ready, and the players are ready. So let's go on over to the game zone and see how they're going to get on. A-chain? Ka-ching. And no instant loading today. That's a bad omen, as if it can get any worse. Theresa May's still in power, but we won't talk about that. Let's get on with the game. We'll call this Team 1 up here at the top and this Team 2 down here at the bottom. Going first for Team 1 at the far left, in Vivacious Violet, being ultimately vivacious with his name. It's Illuminate 1 going Aeon, opening first land. Next up to his right over here, we have Chief Jaguar. He's going Seraphim in Electric Blue, opening first land. Team member number 3 over here, the Mini Ken, our first Cybran of today, bless him, opening first land. Team member number 4 to his right in Ferrari Red, UEF. It's Lil Sid Lil, or Sid as we'll be calling him, and he opened first land. Team member number 5, another UEF, this time Combat Green. It's Pulpazar, and he's opening first land. And last but not least, for Team 1, it's our third UEF. It's Unorthodox Box in Mellow Yellow, opening first land there, going second air. So what have we got? It looks like 1, 2, 3 UEF, then a Cybran, a Fim, and an Aeon. So all the races represented there for Team 1. Let's take a look at Team 2, starting down here in the Burgundy Red. Is it Isekai or Isekai Chan? Anyway, here he is. And he's going Cybran, bless him, opening first land. Next to him in Mustard Yellow. That's right, you see how that was one of those awkward colours. I quite like that. That is definitely a dark Dijon, isn't it? That should be Dijon Yellow. Perhaps that's where we should go with that. Anyway, Platinumizer, and he is going Seraphim, opening first land and going second land straight after that next to the Hydro. Team member number 3 in, still don't have one for this. We'll call this Alternative Green for now. It's Gloves, and he's going Aeon, opening first land and going second air there on the other side of the Hydro. Next up in Pontiff White, we have Panda Cuddles, our first Finn for Team 2, opening first land, going second air. Next up after him, already on the move towards the middle, it's Eco Noob. He's going Aeon in Breast Cancer Awareness Pink, and he opened first land and second air and third land after that. And last but not least, also on his way towards the middle in Elephantine Grey, it's Sensor, and he has opened first land, second air, gone UEF. So Team 2, we have what is it? So we've got 2 Fim, UEF, 2 Aeon, and a Cybran. All races represented once again. Game quality at 94%, and everyone here is a pro except 2. Sorry, I said 1 earlier. We have 2 non-pros present. That's the Mini Ken at 1300, and down on 1400 for Team 2, Panda Cuddles. There we go. Where's Mini Ken? Okay, so they're in almost mirrored possessions. I suppose that would be the mirror for Mini Ken, but similar positions there on the map. So I heard a couple of things going off in the strap box. We said Eco Noob, while I was chatting, was talking about trying to set up some kind of T2 artillery station up on the ridge in the middle of this gorgeous looking map. Insert sarcasm if that didn't come over. We'll see if that goes off for him. T2 upgrade on the way there in the east for Platinumizer. Bomber coming across the way. Incidentally, I'm bound to miss lots on this because it's a 6v6, guys. So apologies in advance for all of the salient, sentient, important bits that I miss over the course of the game. It's bound to happen. It's just part and parcel of casting such a large game and being, well, mentally challenged, as your dear host claims himself to be. Bomber there for Mini Ken, blasted out of the sky by a couple of inties there from Gloves. Chief Jaguar strolling forward with his comm, going to pick up some reclaim in the middle. A little bit further there, he can kill an engineer belonging to Sensor. Engineer's like, nope, I'm not going to finish that. I know that was my order. I'm probably going to get in trouble when I get back to base, but you know what? That's pretty scary stuff. Run! Aurora's going to get you anyway. Sad deal there for him. Illuminate 1 snags the kill. Other side of the map, Isakai Chan right on the eastern edge and pretty much at the midpoint station now there with his ACU towards the center. Gloves also near the middle, so a real ACU convergence going on across the map. Illuminate 1, Sensor run headfirst into one another and get down to it. Sensor with some backup there from a Lobo logs an extra shell into the mix. Illuminate 1 down about 15% on his health already. Sensor continuing to press and can shove him off this hillock here. Can brush aside these two mechs and maybe pick those two up. Illuminate 1, of course, Aeon Com versus the UEF, giving up some 1,000 hit points base right off the bat, so he's already starting at a disadvantage in that engage. Pulpazar and Gloves in pretty close proximity, not crossing that no man's land threshold yet, though, to fire upon one another. Couple of engineers landing on both the midpoint plateaus there for Panda Cuddles. And is that a tac missile? That looks like a tac missile to me. Where is it heading? Going straight into Unorthodox Box's territory and going straight after that. T2 HQ almost takes it down. Requires 2 tac missiles to achieve that, and that was fired from Platinumizer down here. Nearly got that second missile ready, so Unorthodox Box will want to get some tactical missile defense online ASAP. Chief Jaguar completes, or is about to complete, his T2. Might take a bit of damage here while he's rooted to the spot. There he goes, and we've already got an upgraded gun, double gun in fact, on Eco Noob, so that's a rather dangerous looking sniper comm. The Chief Jaguar feeling the brunt of it, stops and throws down a T1 PD and then counter pushes with his spam to give his comm a little bit of breathing room, but Eco Noob liable to rack up the kills here. He kills up off some of the T1 spam and then goes back to harassing the comm and then switches back up to the T1 PD that it recently constructed. Down it goes, and in fact that T2 upgrade, he goes straight for a T2 PD after that. A Chief Jaguar down to around 60% health. The T2 PD focusing on Eco Noob's comm. Could do with backing up a little bit. I wonder if he can still hit the comm but stray out of range of the PD. It looks like that's what he's trying to do. Chief Jaguar just on the fringe range there. Did enough to stay in the predictive zone and gets a second T2 PD online. He's got a bit of a creep going on here, or it looked like he was going to. Threw it down and then went, nah, maybe not. Reclaimed it, and instead going for a tac missile launcher up front over here. Now he's sort of temporarily at least solidified his position with those point defense batteries. Sensor meanwhile at the edge of the map on the move with his comm. T2 upgrade almost half done, about 40% done there for the Illuminate 1 over here. There's the tac missile launcher complete. A little bit of assisting pings going down. Actually heard somebody in the comment section the other day asking what do pings do. So, I shouldn't laugh. Essentially, if you're uninformed, that's literally just a way to signal something on the map. So if you want to tell your teammates to attack or to assist something, those are what the different color pings do. I think it was a little bit self-explanatory, but you know what? If you're not au fait with RTS, it might not come naturally. Lovely little tac missile shot right in between the two core mexes there up front for EcoNoob, and he loses two T2 mexes, about to lose the rear two in that core mass section as well by the looks of things. Tac missile inbound once more. Ouch! EcoNoob drops down to 13 mass per tick, and that is definitely, I was about to say, in the lower edges, but that actually leaves him short stacking the entire field on 23 now. So nice work there from Achieve Jaguar, and as we said before, 2100, that's one of the two highest ranking players on Team 2, so if they can deal with him, that will go some way to giving them a decent advantage at the start of this game. Sensor, for the time being, relatively in control of the hillock. We could do with chucking down some T2 PDs up here. Range rather nullified by the edge of the hill there. Triad unable to find a solution on this pile of units down here, but Illuminate 1 says, I'm not going to yield the hill, thank you very much. He's thrown up a couple of Oblivion turrets right at the foot. Over in the east, Jester battling some T1 spam from an Orthodox box as he and Iseki-chan battle for control of the other ridge. How's EcoNoob doing? He's still down on 27. So that forward tac missile battery with 12 kills now to its name, definitely paying for itself. And it looks like he might have nailed Sensor's eco as well. Look at that, 5 dead mass points. Still seeing explosions going up. I'm not sure if that's intentional control Ks for the mass or not. And now Chief Jaguar pushing through the gap. EcoNoob drawing his comm back over to the left-hand side of his portion of the map. Had him stationed over here previously, but has a leak to plug. One or two fervors, or sorry, Zui's is playing Fim at the back there, which he could have used to deal with the Eruptor, but EcoNoob swats those with his commander. PD happy to clear up the rest of those forward tanks. What's going on here? Tac missiles, though, still a problem, still raining down on EcoNoob. Needs to get some TMD up, but he's got no T2 engineering suite on his comm. He seems to have lost one of his upgrades there. That's why I always go T2. Don't get people do this. So he's tried something new today, EcoNoob, but it's not gone well for him. Usually goes T2 first, and that would have allowed him to throw up some TMD, but unfortunately for him today, doesn't have access. Has a Volcano over here, so he has got a T2 engineer in play. But it's certainly not been a good start for him. He's up to 41, but still bottom of the field in terms of eco. Highest ecoing player at the moment. 101 there for Iseki-chan. He's actually getting a stealth upgrade on his commander. 12 minutes gone in this one, and two fringes held by Team 2, but Achieve Jaguar, as we've been seeing, has dealt some vicious blows to their economy. But look out, Strat Bomber early, and that feels pretty good, I'm sure, for Team 2. All of the core mass taken out there of Chief Jaguars. It moves on over here to Sid, but that's shielded. Where's he going to go next? Moves on to Pulpazar, that's shielded. Unshielded Mex is over here, though. Can he get a bomb off? Yes, he can. Oh, Nerdgasm. All 4 Mechs is taken out there, so that's 2 complete sets of core mass annihilated from that Strat Bomber before he got shot down. That is a thing of beauty right there. Congratulations to Gloves. Very nicely done indeed. And now the rest of his air units tangling with Team 1's. over the top of Pulpazar's base. It's actually going to go quite well for Gloves as well. And one air superiority fighter tipping things in his direction. And Sid does actually have T3 air also. So he's not going to be able to hang on to this. But in comes a gunship now. Whaler turns up and starts going to town on another one of the Chief Jaguar's T2 mexes. Even Song's over here, trying to contend with Sensor's base at range. He's responding with TMD. Chief Jaguar did lose that mass point, so he's down to 41, and now he's bottom of the field, with the exception, of course, of Unorthodox Box over here, who's on 38. That is a accurate representation. He's not power locked. Attack missile inbound. Shot down by that buzzkill of Sid's on the hillock there. That's probably emanated from, there it is, the attack missile launcher down here, that one we saw before. It's only got 4 kills to its name. And it was all pretty quiet. EcoNu back up to 85, has done a pretty good job at recovering. I like the teamwork here. Lonely engineers dispatched by Panda Cuddles to help him with his tactical missile woes, throwing some TMD up for him in various places. Gonu, by the sounds of things, was feeding off somebody else for mass or energy. Support withdrawn as teammates' needs have gone up. A little bit of a hoplite incursion over the hillock now in the east there from Izeki-chan. Runs into some long-range triad fire. Probably going to want to back up. All depends on whether or not he's paying attention. The T1 and T2 units brought in around the edge of the hill, and those pillars should deal pretty easily with those hoplites. Only 1 or 2 left. And not in a good shape. And that actually, that's Izeki-chan losing control of that position now. So Eastern Hillock changes hands. Western Hillock still, for the time being, pretty solid. Even Songs continue their barrage, but that's met comfortably by the 4 buzzkills, excuse me, 3 of which under shield coverage, which hasn't been touched yet. At full health, 5th buzzkill back here as well, and now we've got a clink hammer underneath that. That's going to provide some crossfire support down onto the Chief Jaguar, his forward position. Ras on the way for EcoNu. 53% complete. That'll see him jump in the rankings. He's already up to 135. He's actually in 2nd place there now for Team 2, so that's a pretty solid comeback. But look at Pulpazar out in front on 176. Is that reclaim related or not? Hard to tell. Looks like that's pretty stable. Total, though, mass totals for the game, 20k up for Team 2, so reasonable advantage for 17 minutes in. An idea of what that clink hammer could do. It's a pretty solid firing arc right there. All of the units down here for Chief Jaguar, and this whole section of base, a part of that one belonging to Illuminate 1. Nasty though, we've got Harbs on the field, or a Harb up front for Luminous. The Illuminate 1 straight in. That's the end, I would suggest, of this little base. And that's actually the T2 land command headquarters for Sensor. It's fine. It's got a T-31 back here. Just built that one for fun. Why not? That's producing the dreaded Percival. Konu rolling forward with Ras now on his comm. Wants to shut down this attack. Needs to be a little bit careful here. We've got some sniper bots. And that Harb has access to shield coverage. In comes a Mongoose for some assistance. Overcharge takes down 2 of them. Interesting. Alumnar coming in for support, trying to evac the comm potentially. Konu taking a bit of a battering from those sniper bots, down to 50% health, just over it. Now he's trying to hide behind the hill. Was this a bad idea? It's beginning to look like it. Sniper bot range, remember, pretty enormous. And what have we got there? That is a Team 1 strap bomber looking for a solution on Econoob, and he can't pick it up with the Alumnar because that's just been shot down. They smell blood here. Sensor in the area as well. Econoob absorbs the hit, down into the red. 1400 hit points. Things looking bad here. That strap bomber, where is it? It's still alive, and there's another one to boot. Down it goes, and Sensor's in trouble as well. This could be 2 for 1. First ejection from the game after 19 minutes, and it's one of Team 2's star players, and it might not be over yet. Sensor with 850 hit points now, running for his life, and a massive power vacuum emerges in this portion of the map. Surely Team 1 due to capitalize. Oh, sniper bot still after Sensor, 170 hit points. Parashield comes in to give him some cover. He needs to get under the main base shield though for extra cover, and still Illuminate 1 continues to press. He's going to run into a Ravager before too long. Build capacity getting involved with that. Sensor still looking very peaky indeed. Even Songs moving up into range of the main base, but the Ravager now online, and that's going to spool up and unleash grey murder on those mobile missile launchers. There they go. Sniper bots are going to back up also, but look at the aerial firepower from Team 1 right now. That materialized in a very timely fashion. I'm not even sure what happened to those strap bombers. They must have been shot down, but by what, I do not know. We do have some ASFs massing down here for gloves. Whew. But that was very cagey indeed there for Team 2. Losing Econoob, definitely not good for your health. Sensor nearly went with him at the same time. The second shield online. Looks like, for the moment at least, for Sensor, the damage, or the danger, sorry, might have passed, although be about to take some more long-range harassment. So Illuminate 1 moves in a couple of Serenities, and mobile T3 artillery pieces. At the moment, he hasn't got any way to hit back of those. Dreaded T3 missile launcher, UEF Spearhead up front for Pulpazar. And he's got a few Percivals out in front of them as well. There's a nasty looking combination. Just needs a couple of parashields. That could be a real problem. Firebase on the hill for Sensor, now cut off from the main base. We even have a couple of Zooies from a Chief Jaguar circling around and attacking that base from the rear. That one Clink Hammer looked like we were going to get a lovely Clink Hammer fire base emerging there, but alas it wasn't to be, and now we've actually got more artillery fire coming into it than going out. Those Suthanus mobile artillery pieces from a Chief Jaguar lobbing shells in. Here we come though with some more strap bombers in from the Mini Ken. Oh, Brick's taking damage there. One of them down and out. Another two badly damaged. There's nice aerial play there from our lowest rated player in this game, remember. 1300. Not a pro level, but certainly taking up the mantle in fine form. Take a look at his eco. It does belie that somewhat. 87. He's been relatively safe. I haven't seen anything really come his way offensively, but still he's used those strats to good effect. Took out one of their star players. It's not what you've got, it's what you do with it, says my wife regularly. Fat boy under construction there for Pulpazar at the main base. 1,500 done of the 12,500 hit points required. Still a ways to go, and it looks like that budding attack we saw from Illuminate 1 has petered out. He's just backed off slightly. They've eradicated the base up here with some Harbinger play. That is gone, so Sensor officially confined to his main base now, although he does have a couple of Percys joining the fray over here. It's now definitely the experimental phase, so we've got Quantum Gateway online, we've got Ithota there for a Chief Jagu, we've got experimentals popping up all over the place. Ithota there for Platinumizer. Actually, I think there was another one for Platinumizer, maybe it was gloves. Similar colours. There was definitely one, I think, from, I might imagine from Sid. It seemed like that. Hello, and there is a nuke, and it's going over that direction, fired at the back there. Would you look at that? He's going to be spamming nukes out of that thing. Hives going up in massive support. Nuke inbound, going straight for Sid's base. Do we have nuke defense? Yes, we do, but it's not got any anti-nukes in it, has it? Yes, it has. It's opened. No, it hasn't. That's weird. Why is that opened up? Is it supposed to do that? Opened up when there were no missiles in it. But it's all moved now because it's a pile of ashes. As is the rest of Sid's base. That drops him down to 96 mass per tick. So I was about to say him and Mini Ken short stacking. Mini Ken leapfrogs him to go to 101. And Sid now the only player, again, curse of the commentator, about to say only player on two figures. Then he jumps up to 116. Definitely hurting his eco there. Didn't pay much attention to these plateaus actually. They've changed hands once or twice. Was Panda Cuddles in control of both of them. And then Mini Ken took control of one, but that's been beaten back with a artillery drop. An artillery drop, sorry. Firebase operational on the other side, but with only one shield. Now taking some direct fire from a Triad down here. The question is, can that Triad actually hit anything with those crinkly edges on those hillocks, rating as a natural bit of shield coverage. Nice T2 artillery placement on the top of that, assuming it can hit anything, because those aforementioned crinkly edges. Excuse me. Christmas health still in effect. And Sensor edging out of his base once more. Still not completely healed. Up to around 60% health. Got some parashield coverage still. Looks to expand his base forward in the face of potential encroachment. There's not a lot coming this direction really from Team 1. Now I bet we're near to another nuke. Yes we are, and the hives are increasing in number all the time. He's even throwing down some mass fabs to help that thing draw less mass. We've got another nuke ready to go. Is it going to fire straight away? It really is all about the nukes now for Izeki-chan. Where's it going? I keep saying Izeki. It's like Izekai. Izekai. Answers on a postcard or in the comment section if you know how that's meant to be pronounced. Make myself sound like less of a loon should he pop up in another cast. Anyway, Nuke away. Where's it going? Looks like it was going that way unless it was an attack ping. Pulpazar set to be the beneficiary. Probably wants to move his commander. Oh dear. Kaboom! Pulpazar eradicated at 27.5 minutes. Thought, if that's going to take me out, I don't want to live anymore. I want to live in a world without my base. Partially built fat boy. Zekai Chan says, no problem. You will be missed. So that levels it now. It's now a 5v5. But Team 1 with the higher mass total. 1.11 million now versus 990k. Team 2 temporarily with the significantly higher income there, but I think that might have been replay related. It was up at 1.4k versus 1.1 and then dropped down to 1.1 apiece. And now the experimentals are turning up in a big way. 28 minutes gone. Thotas popping up here and there. GC emerging out of Illuminous One's camp. Fat Boy rolling out of his base there, unorthodox box at the top. They have a major problem. There's another nuke ready. Would you look at the spam that this installation is creating? Where is it going is the question. Massive Zooey spam. It's not just T1, we've got siege tanks in the mix as well there for Platinumizer. Of course, a couple of experimentals and some Percivals over here to the far west. Incredibly static. Since that base was removed and since that attack withdrew from Illuminate 1 down here, that has been utterly stationary. And Izekai-chan never pushed to reclaim that hillock either, and you sort of wonder, was he right to do it? Because what has an orthodox box gained there? He's only running 2 T1 mass pumps up it. Instead, he's sat back, and he's nearly got 2 loaded nukes now. It's 1.5, and still he builds hives. It's a truly terrifying situation emerging there, potentially. Got a nuke launcher over here for a Chief Jaguar as well. And that's nearly got a nuke ready. Look at the engineering assist he's giving it. So we are definitely entering nuke spam territory. Fat Boy for an orthodox box rolls up and opens fire on the plateau. But again, seeing
strategic launch detected.
No protection at all. I was about to say the relief of the cliff edge coming to their aid, but no, he's found a way through, and that's pretty devastating. Nuke out this time from a Chief Jaguar. Where's it going? If it goes down here, it could be problems. Panda Cuddle's evacing. Platinum routed to the spot on an upgrade. 77% done on T3. That's exactly where it's going. He was going to risk not cancelling it. Didn't want to lose it, and boy, has that not paid off. Boom, baby! There goes Platinumizer, and that is Team 2 down a player once again. Thank goodness, for their sake, Panda Cuddles moved when he did. Another nuke out. This time, it's another one from Izeki-chan as all of that goes pop. And remember, we had an experimental guarding the territory over here, and all of that spam, that's now gone. And it's being synced up with a strap bomber attack now from the Mini Ken. Some bombs away. They're going for Panda Cuddles. They clip him with that fringe damage of the AoE. Excuse me.
Strategic launch
But
detected.
unsuccessful. Didn't get the snipe. Good coverage from his ASFs. That nuke did head up this way, but got shot down by the nuke defense. And there's another nuke defense loaded. Thank goodness for him, because another nuke is inbound. But the rate he's spamming those, he's almost done on another. That's about 50%. There's the anti-nuke shooting that out of the sky. Has he got any more anti-nukes to call on? That is now empty. It's going to be a ways off before he has another one ready. I don't see another anti-nuke silo anywhere. He's building one as we speak. That's going to be too little, too late. Now Chief Jaguar rolls forward with his Ethota, buoyed by the destruction of Platinumizer over here, and Illuminate One's coming to join the party with his experimental. We've got siege tanks, we've got flak back here to protect them. Illuminate One coming over the hillock with some harbs. This is looking squeaky bum time right now for Sensor, who's valiantly defending up front with his Perseus. Could do worse than to get them under some shield coverage over here. At least get them into range. They are not in range, I don't think. Yes, they are. I'm talking out of my balls. There goes another nuke out from Izeki-chan, and another nuke out from a Chief Jaguar. These guys are in full nuke spam. Where is it going? It is going up here. Once again, an Orthodox box is moving his comm. He has a Star Lifter to evac. Did he get it out in time? Nuke is on the way. Yes, he can. What's he going to do to his eco? He's on 303. It's going to take out just about everything. He's down to 121 mass. That is very painful indeed. Tell you what else is painful. The experimentals and siege tanks massing outside the front of Sensor's base. He's busily trying to construct defenses. Ravagers going up here, there, and everywhere. Percival's and Bricks face off over here, but Izeki-chan short on numbers in that game. Has got assistance from T3 gunships, those whalers there from Gloves, and they're protected relatively well by a fighter screen. On the other side, his strap bombers are going to town on the experimentals, which are nearly dealt with, but they have reached the main base. That looked like a anti-nuke silo that got taken out there. Ethota with 10,000 hit points and falling Ravagers tearing into it. The Colossus isn't looking much healthier. Sensor right there with his comm. Oh, down goes the Ethota, but not before it takes a couple more Perseus with him with its death throw. Another nuke out of Izeki-chan. Would you look at this nuke base at the back here? Where is it headed? Headed over here. Another nuke out from a Chief Jaguar. Just absurd. And we've got breakthrough with the Percivals down here from an Orthodox box. They could cause problems. It's just going to be mass points predominantly, which are to go there. Nuke silo, anti-nuke silo, sorry, does get taken out. But I'll tell you what else is going to get taken out. Panda Cuddles looks like he's in the blast radius of this next one from a Chief Jaguar. Another casualty. And this time it's Panda Cuddles. And that officially breaks the homogeneous Team 2 line at the back here. Potential for a Chief Jaguar to split them with his forces. Might be successful in taking out Sensor right here. Illuminate One with another Galactic Colossus. And another Ethota for a Chief Jaguar. Nasty looking TAC missile base. Those TAC missiles traversing the map as we speak. Going after Gloves. And he moves just in time. Fortunately, the hill blocked those anyway. He starts work on some volcanoes. Could do with getting a few of those and spacing them out. Galactic Colossus doing donuts outside the front of the base. You don't want to do that. Get in there and take out those defenses. Lots and lots of flak being brought in. Gunships to deal with the Ithota, but he doesn't want to get those entangled into a fight with the flak battery. Colossus hoovering up those Ravagers. Attack missiles, meanwhile, have been going after the strategic missile defense. I don't know how they didn't break through there. They're going in one at a time, but there were a couple of very large volleys a moment ago. Another nuke ready, another one after that nearly ready. Noob telling his teammates to concede. He thinks it's all over. He may well be right. It's looking very difficult. Is that a... That looks distinctly like T3 static artillery, and there it is. You can hear it. An emissary at the back of Illuminate 1's base, and it's going straight after that pesky nuke battery, and oh, would you look at that. So everybody else was defended. We had a teleport or tele-snipe attempt. All other comms defended and invulnerable. Too much T1 PD. The only one they could go for was an Orthodox base, and he'd already lost most of his base to that nuke anyway, so they traded their top running player pretty much for Team 1's bottom running player in terms of eco. But they were going to lose. I mean, Izeki's Chan entire offensive strategy was based around that nuke launcher, and he had no way to keep out that emissary fire. So, valiant snipe attempt, if annoying in its cybrancy, but fortunately for Team 1, it was not to be. Now, sensor completely eradicated from the bottom left, and then eradicated from the game by that other Ithota stomping in through the front door, and then strap bombs out from Mini Ken over in the east, and that, as they say, is that. And actually, for what was a very close game for much of it, ends up in a 4-man victory for Team 1. Surprise, surprise. But just goes to show you never can tell what's going to happen. I honestly thought that nuke spam was going to be the death of Team 1, but really, ever since Eco Noob went down and out, it was just kind of a catalogue of errors, especially down here in the bottom left. Congratulations certainly to Achieve Jaguar. He kept up the pressure. And the Mini Ken with his sniping action. Well done, you say, 1300. Representing us Joes in the pro sphere. Very nice to see. Hopefully you enjoyed that, guys. As always, more to come from me in the future. Don't forget, if you feel so inclined, you can support me on Patreon. Details on how to do that below this in each and every one of my videos. Thank you to everyone who's donated so far, and thank you to any kind donations that come my way in the future. But until next time, guys, stay well and stay safe. And if I don't see you, although I hope I will, have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This is Guile, signing out.